Hello YouTube. If you have a Jeep Wrangler JL, you might have a problem with your visors. It's a pretty common issue, and I've run into it as well. So basically what the issue is the visor's falling out of the ceiling. The mount is not very sturdy that Jeep has chosen to anchor these with. And because of that, sometimes these visors will come out under normal use. Unfortunately, this can be, from what I understand, close to a $400 repair for a single visor, which is pretty ridiculous. Anyway, you can probably avoid this problem by reinforcing the mount. Now, what I'm talking about is this little post right here. It goes into this plastic piece and is anchored at the top, and so it'll actually pull straight down and out. So there are some brackets you can buy. This one, I believe, is made by TACCOM, T-A-C-C-O-M. I'll go more into that later. And what it does is it basically puts a little bit of resistance on the outside of this, so that in addition to being held on top, it's also here. So it's sandwiched between two pieces of metal in the plastic. You remove there's a recessed screw like this one, which is a number 20 Torx bit. You remove that and put the Phillips head screw in and put this question mark device in its place. It's all good. It should hold it in place and keep it from falling out. That being said, I may have averted disaster with the other side, because you can see there's a bit of a gap where the plate should be flush with the plastic. It's actually coming down just a little bit. So there are two devices that are recommended for this type of a fix. The single screw is for prevention, and the two screw version is for fixing a visor that's actually fallen out. So it gives it another screw point to anchor to and should take care of the problem. There are other fixes on YouTube, and I'll go into this in a moment as well. YouTube as well as forums about taking the visor out and reinforcing it from the top with hardware store anchors, which tends to work pretty well. I may do that in addition to this, as this is a pretty common weak point in the visor construction. So if you haven't already, feel free to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'd love to see you back on the channel with future content. So I'll go into how to put these on, which is rather easy here in just a moment. Like I mentioned, the reinforcement plates that I have on at the moment were allegedly TACCOM, T-A-C-C-O-M, which I think I got on Amazon. They were highly recommended on forums. And so whenever I found out that my passenger side visor was falling down and I had to go to a two-screw solution, then I ordered a TACCOM two-screw device, which should look something like this. But what I got was actually this. The problem is the device that I got does not actually look like the TACCOM device. And you can see, I didn't measure it here, but it's slightly thicker. The one I ordered was on the left, and the one that I should have received would be thinner like the one on the right. Now, where's the problem there? The thicker one, I didn't check the fitment before I put it on. It didn't clear, and it actually made a groove in the visor right here where it was hitting, and it would not let it snap in all the way to the left. So I'm going to return those. And I picked up another kit. I couldn't find the two-screw TACCOM version, and I didn't have any luck contacting TACCOM directly. So what I wound up ordering looks very similar. It's from a company called MotoFab Lifts. I also received these on Amazon. These are made out of aluminum, just like the rest of these, and it appears to be thin enough to clear. The screws are recessed, so they won't stick out of the plate, and it does have screws supplied. So you'll be able to take out the T20 recess screws in the holes from the factory to do this, and replace them with the Phillips head screws. So I'm going to set up my tripod and come back in a moment and show you how to do that. Okay, just to show you a closer demonstration, the plate that I have on here clears no problem because it doesn't go to the second screw. But adding that extra piece, extra wing to go to that screw, it needs to be thin enough that it'll clear the visor when it moves, which it does barely, but adequately. The one that I received is clearly too thick. I mean, it's already contacting it right here. It's just going to dig into the visor like it did on the driver's side. So to make my job a little bit easier, I've actually magnetized the screws as well as a screwdriver, just to make it a little bit easier for me, less likely to drop things. I have a T20 Torx screwdriver as well as a Phillips head. Like I mentioned, you'll be removing T20 screws from the recesses, and the Phillips head are the mount screws. So in order to keep this from falling out, as I can tell that it's already coming through, I'm going to try to fasten one at a time so that I don't have to hold both in place. So I'll be removing the T20. And the instructions show the U facing toward the passengers. And again, this is recessed for the screw, so it's going to face down. I'm going to secure this in position so it can be swung into place once I remove the other one. This may help hold it as well to have it anchored on the left at the snap. So as I remove this, the visor is not coming out, but I can actually see, and I'll show you in a moment, where it's starting to come through the mount. So if you remove both of these screws at the same time, this whole rectangular portion that the visor goes into will come down with the visor attached. You can see there's a lot of play in that post, and it's coming right through. So it is no longer attached at the top. I'm going to swing this into place. I may have to loosen the other screw. Oh, yeah, you can definitely see it there. Okay, so I am going to have to support that. That may help. And I should be able to get to that anchor, no problem now. Okay. So the plate is on, fits nicely. There's not any play in that post anymore. I may take this off at some point and actually put the anchor on the top just to increase the hold. But I don't know if that's going to be necessary. This seems pretty solid. If this falls out of the ceiling, I'll be glad to post a follow-up video. The bracket looks like it should be there. I mean, there's a lot of different shape brackets up here anyway, so I don't think you'll even notice it. It does clear right here by a few millimeters. I think that's going to be totally fine. It doesn't impair function any bit, and that's going to do the trick. All right, so I will put the driver's side on as well, just for detail. For watching. Hope this helped, and I'll see you on the next one.